Yo, what up, guys? Chef Dom in the house. I am in Oklahoma City today, and today I got a special guest in the house. I got Rose Wellness Healing here. Say hey.
Hi, guys.
What's going on? So I've been here in Oklahoma for a few days now. I'm here on private hire, and so I'm cooking for a 3-year-old and for you, and we're just laying it in the kitchen over here. So I want to actually bring you on and ask you a couple questions. Would you mind starting off by telling me a little bit about your vegan journey and how you became vegan in the first place?
Yeah, actually, I began my journey back at the beginning of this year, and I decided that enough was enough of being sick, and tired of being tired. And so I went on a journey to find a way to heal my body, and it incorporated going to school for regenerative health and learning how diets change, and food is such a huge part of that. When I first became vegan, I thought that it was eating broccoli off a plate and I was never going to be able to do this. But since time has progressed and over the last, 4 months now, it's actually been, like, I don't even crave coffee. I don't, I smell fish and I'm like, oh, it's a little rough now. So it definitely changes how your body reacts.
So what is regenerative health, and can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So regenerative health is a lot different than the general knowledge of what we have as going to the doctor, because it's finding the actual root cause of the problem instead of a blanket or, a medicine to, finding my words.
So give me an example then. Yeah, your words are great.
I have to make sure that we say it correctly. But for example, I take IgG infusions every week. That is a treatment rather than a healing or cure to my own autoimmune disease. So now, with that all being said and encompassing learning and diet, I am healing my autoimmune disease rather than just taking the treatments.
So when you say healing it, you're doing that through the process of food, right? Versus like the treatments that you take, that's just like a temporary fix, or
yeah.
What's
So
the difference?
The treatments that I take are like a temporary dose of antibodies into my body. So that's not my body producing those antibodies. It doesn't help me heal myself. It just gives me what I need in the moment to not be so sick. And so in healing with food and then other modalities, I am in the process of trying to reverse my autoimmune disease.
That's amazing. And so you're doing that strictly with food, any herbs, anything like that?
I do it with foods, herbs, nanosilver, zeolites, and quantum frequencies.
So your diet's a little bit crazy right now. Can you tell me a little bit more about what your diet looks like on a day-to-day basis?
So originally when I started, when you go onto a detox journey, most people think like we have the fad detox where it's like 7 days and then you're good. That's not true detoxing, and that doesn't enable your body to heal. So I started off from the SAD diet, the Standard American Diet. That's what it's called.
Sad is sad.
What it's called.
I mean, it is though, it is.
And then transition to eating all fruit in the morning, and then like maybe a salad in the afternoon and some cooked veggies in the evening, or like a soup, carrot ginger soup, lentil soup, whatever. Did that for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then moved my all fruit to 5 o'clock. So now I eat fruits in the morning, fruits for lunch, and then about 5 to 6 o'clock is when I eat dinner. And that started off as a cooked meal, and now I just transitioned to all raw.
What was the transition like for you going from going for like right now you just said that the smell of fish like grosses you out now, it's too much for you, but can you explain to me the transition between from you going from like you still never ate red meat but you still did eat like fish and stuff like that, so what was the transition like going from like eating fish to eating plant-based to now eating like then eating like a little bit of raw and now eating like mostly fruit and only one actual like meal a day? Can you tell me a little bit about that journey and how it's impacted you?
So it is a lot more prepping, which you would think not because you're just eating fruit, right? But it's more of like trying to figure out like what am I even gonna make for this the last meal of the day. I bought this raw cookbook off of Amazon. Don't recommend that raw cookbook. I gotta find another one. But just trying to find raw options on like how to, because a lot of things that I was making were cooked. And I know it's been a journey for you as well to learn how to make just straight raw food, even though you make vegan food. But I would say that when it's truly something you want, it's not as hard as something that, or truly something you need and want. It's not as hard when it's just like, hey, let's do this diet together, let's lose 10 pounds. It's not the same thing like changing this whole like repertoire of our lifestyle. Really, it's a whole entire, I'm growing a freaking garden in a greenhouse.
Oh, that's amazing.
I've never had a green thumb before.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole different level of just elevation, mindset, energy, vibrations, and it really just does make a difference when it's truly something you're wanting and needing from the inside out, not just like, oh, I want to look good for summer.
I see. So you and I were having a conversation about how fruits and vegetables are actual energy. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
So in the science world, because I'm very sciencey, right? So in the science world, we quantify the levels of energy with angstroms. And so fruit is quantified at about 8,500 angstroms of energy. And so that is truly the pure source of energy that goes into our body from those fruits. Vegetables, when they're raw, is about 8 to 6,000, depending on the vegetable. The angstrom levels do decrease when you cook the vegetable.
I see. So same thing as like you always hear that cooks out like the nutrients and stuff like that. It also cooks out the energy, right? That's so interesting. So you are on quite a path right now. I'm curious to know what is something throughout this whole transition that you are the most proud of?
Honestly, probably sticking to it.
Consistency.
Sticking to it. I'm very consistent when it comes to like my phone dying or like, taking care of my kid. But like things like this, it's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, like I just want a bag of popcorn and it's afternoon, or just anything. Like you can't just grab and go on. And I think one of the harder parts when circling back to prepping is that there are not fast food options, vegan fast food options everywhere, like, maybe down in LA or Miami, the bigger cities. But living over here where we live, there's no option like that. So it's like, if I know I'm going to be out of the house all day, I need to make sure I pack this, and I pack my daughter's lunch, and I pack my lunch, and I have dinner, and I have the snacks, and it's a lot more work in that essence. But so sticking with it, but also just the knowledge that I've grown from it, not just the food, but like the schooling too. Good. And the ability to be able to help others, and like, even just in like, we're helping one another by like, hiring you to teach me how to make these meals, prepping meals for her, because being a single mom, it's not so easy to constantly cook and everything. And then like in return, learning how to make different meals than what you're used to.
Yeah, I love that part of it. So I was going to ask you something. It just slipped my mind right now. So you have a business, Rose Wellness Healing. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do in your business?
So I am actually going to be getting my regenerative health practitioner's license in June. I'll be finishing school in June, and I will be opening up a practice. But in the interim of time, I have my Instagram page, which is at Rose Wellness. Dom will tag it for us at the end of this video. But basically, the gist of it is getting a protocol to help that healing journey. You don't just throw somebody into the fire, like feed them to the wolves. You know, you go through like a 3 to 4 month protocol, and you check in every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks, depending on that person, if they feel they need extra support or whatever have you. And so, like, for example, a very close and near dear friend of me, I wrote a 4-month protocol to heal diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and ADHD.
That's amazing. And all through food, all through herbs, all through natural remedies, and trying to get everyone off of prescriptions and big pharma, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm guilty of the prescriptions too, you know, so it's not, like, it's never something like, we don't, in the regenerative health world, we don't tell you, like, don't take your medication. That's not, we can't do that. We're not going to be a medical doctor, but you can work with your doctor and telling them, like, hey, I'm working on these things. I want to come off this medication. I'm supplementing in this essence of taking herbs or whatever have you. Like for me, for example, I'm trying to cut down my infusions and see how this is all transpiring within my body. But also having like a bacterial candida immense overgrowth due to so many rounds of antibiotics that I've personally had. So it's kind of like I'm getting hit for 2 different ways, but other individuals, like my friend who has the type 2 diabetes, like just the food and the herbs are a big help to her.
That's amazing. And so you're changing the world one person at a time. That's so wonderful. So last question here. Please tell me how Dom's Vegan has impacted or changed your life.
Honestly, it's been a huge impact just in regards to learning meals, being able to ask for advice, being able to learn how to coincide one another and like be a part of the vegan group. Dom has like, hey, this is the vegan world, you know, and that, I think that's like, I didn't really realize it's like a community or a family. I just thought it was like, this is how you eat, you know. And so I really appreciate having that. It's like she's became like a family member to us, you know, through the hire of a couple of times, and it's great having her here to not only just teach me, but also teaching my little one, like, behind me, behind
little
you.
kitchen tips. I love it.
Yeah, she's our little sous chef now, so it's great to just the energy that she brings. Like, if anybody wants to learn anything about the kitchen, a mandolin, did not know what this one was called until today. Tell you anything about science though. Anything like that, then I definitely recommend the chef to hire.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for hosting me in lovely Oklahoma City. I'm super happy to be here, and I hope that I have made as big of an impact on you as you have on me.
Definitely.
And I'm truly grateful. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys on the next one. Please make sure you follow Rose Wellness Healing. I'll drop the link below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye.